Hey guys, gals, and others. It's the Cannabis Crone. I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about democracy. Are we a democracy? No, we're not. If you look up the definition of democracy and then you look up oligarchy and plutocracy, you'll see that we fit more under those two categories than we do a democracy. We haven't been a democracy for decades. And actually, I'm not even sure if we ever were a democracy. Because if you have a country that enslaves part of its population and oppresses the other part of the population until you have just a bunch of white men with penises who get their rights. But if you're female, indigenous, or a slave, you get nothing. That is not the definition of democracy. So one could argue that we never had a democracy because we had slavery and we had women who didn't have the right to vote, and we had the indigenous people that were here first that weren't allowed to vote or have any say in the way the country was being developed, even though it was originally their country. So one could argue we were never a democracy, but we're further away now than we've ever been before. So does voting count? No, voting doesn't count, because if voting counted, we would have at least 10 to 15 candidates in the beginning of the election, people coming forward and saying, you know what, I want to throw my hat in the ring. And then with debates and this and that and the other, people drop out, they're not popular, whatever. And then you end up with two candidates. We started out with two candidates. Trump and Biden, and then Biden left and Kamala jumped in the ring, and that's kind of the same thing anyway. So it really doesn't matter, does it? So basically, no, your vote does not count, because they will get into office who they want in office. Either Trump or Kamala will suit their needs, because the oligarchs are the ones who pull the strings. They are the puppet masters. So we're talking about a figurehead illusionary election. Basically, you're just voting for the person that's going to deliver the messages that the oligarchs give them. So whether you want to see Trump on TV or Kamala on TV, neither one of them are going to be making the damn decisions. And the sooner we as a people realize this, I have people telling me that I'm crazy, and it's like, no, you're crazy if you think that this is a two-party system. You're crazy if you think the person that you want as a candidate is ever going to get a chance, especially if they're not rich, they're not part of the elite group. It's not going to happen. So no, number one, I don't think your vote counts, and I don't waste my time anymore. I stopped voting. The last election was the last time I voted, and it was a very painful process to go in and have to cast a vote for someone I thought. I mean, the lesser of two evils is basically the governmental philosophy of America. The lesser of two evils. We're going to give you two candidates. We're going to give you two platefuls of steaming shit. And you're going to have to decide which pile of shit you want to eat. That's the way I feel about our elections. So number one, no, your vote does not count. If everyone were to stop voting, that would send a message to the country. Because like I said, it doesn't matter. If none of us show up at the polls, they will still declare the winner that they want. So that's number one. Number two, if everybody were to stop paying taxes, if we could start a movement trending where nobody pays their taxes next tax season, this country would be brought to its knees. And then we could start making demands of our own. Like, you want us to pay taxes? You give us something to pay taxes for. Fix these fucking roads, first of all, because I drive quite a bit across, from here to Michigan and through different states. Our highway system, disgusting. It really is. Illinois, you have to pay about $50 in tolls to drive through Illinois, and unfortunately I can't go around it. And yet they have the worst roads. Huge potholes, and it's crazy the way. So our infrastructure in this country is piss poor. What are they spending our taxes on? Oh, that's right. They're sending our money off to fight their fancy little wars. So if even a third of the country were to stop paying their taxes, first of all, they don't have enough law enforcement to come and get us all. They wouldn't be able to exert penalties or punish us because there would be too many of us. It would break the system, literally. And if we did that, we could start making demands and we could start building the kind of real democracy that we want. But if we keep playing their game, our window of opportunity to revolt is closing. It's closing. You got to stop playing their game. That's all I have to say. You know, either I'm a crackpot or I'm a genius, or maybe something in between. But your votes don't count. So don't vote and stop paying your taxes.